Hi, Chaim Malevsky here, Chabad of the West Side. Gonna do a little running commentary. But a beautiful thought that I heard today from the Lubavitcher Rebbe, not in person, but through my headphones. And the Rebbe talks about this requirement in Jewish tradition to mention and to think about our Exodus every single day of the year. Some things we do periodically, some things we do less often, more often. But in our daily prayers, we talk about the Exodus, the Yetzias Mitzrayim, and it's in the Shema. And then, moving on, the Talmud says, and the Alter Rebbe brings, and the Tanya, and it's expounded upon in many places. It says, B'chol dor v'dor, in every generation, Chayav Adam le'erot et atzmo, a person, B'chol dor v'dor, in every generation, and they add, V'chol yom v'yom, and in every single day, Chayav Adam le'erot et atzmo, ki'ilu hu yatza hayom miMitzrayim. A person needs to see himself or herself as if he or she, even you, just left Egypt today. So what is this Exodus on a daily basis? So the Rebbe says, if something is required of us to think about the Exodus on a daily basis, it means that we need it to function properly as a good Jew. And functioning as a good Jew, a lot of requirements. B'chol d'rachecha de'eu, in all your ways, you should know Him, know God. Chol ma'asecha yiyu l'shem shamayim, all your deeds, all your actions should be for the sake of heaven. That ain't no simple task and simple life for us. But here's a perspective that could help us, and especially, says the Rebbe, in the world that we live in, and the word world in Hebrew is olam. Olam comes from the Hebrew word of helem. Helem means concealment. It's a world that conceals godly light. Godly light, you see the sun? A little bit. That's a ray of godly light. So, in the world that conceals God, and also in the Shana, in the year, which is from the word shinui, there's constant changes in our life and in the circumstances. How could we really aspire to function with that high requirement of a Jew, of a Jew's perspective, as b'chol d'rachecha de'eu, to do everything with God in mind? Says the Rebbe, there's 4 levels of Exodus that we all experience on a daily basis, if we just think about it. And he says as follows: regularly, he says, in 4 levels of functionality, of just functioning. The lowest level we'll call nature. God created a program, a system called nature, in which everything works as scheduled. The 4 seasons are always functioning, they're always going to be there. I go to work, I make my money, I eat my food. That's nature. That's the lowest level. Says the Rebbe, even in this level, we need to see it's really God's hand. It's really the Exodus. What is the Exodus? The Exodus means great miracles, miracles that are supernatural, that the Jewish people were taken with great wonders and miracles out of Egypt. So says the Rebbe, in all 4 levels of natural functionality, we see the Exodus. We need to imbue it with the Exodus, permeate the Exodus in all areas of your life. Exodize your life. I coined that. It's not, I checked Google. There's no word like that. That's my trademark. Exodize your life. So the Rebbe says, on the lowest level, nature, all things natural. You think you go to work and you make money and that's how you sustain yourself? Great. Know that it's really manna from heaven. It's really God giving you everything that you have, but it's clothed in nature. It's hidden. It's well hidden. Then the Rebbe says, a little higher level is what we call hashgacha pratis, divine providence. When something just a little bit extraordinary happens in your life that you weren't expecting, just a little bit, that's really God orchestrating things to make them happen in your favor. But sometimes our evil inclination tells us, nah, it's chance, it just happened. Mazel, good luck. Yep, all that, says the Rebbe. That's what people say, but no, it's God. It's hashgacha pratis, it's divine providence. The third level and the fourth level says they're both miraculous. The Rebbe says there's two kinds of miracles. One is a miracle that is enclosed in nature, like the story of Purim, where many natural occurrences happened, one following the other. And only looking back, you see, wow, there is a supernatural hand of God in here. So the Rebbe says those are miracles enclosed in nature. And that too happens to all of us in our lives. And finally, there are the supernatural miracles that are unexplainable by science and by logic and by reason. So the Rebbe says, in a nutshell, in order for a Jew to function with keeping God in mind at all times and all places, in the olam, in the world of concealment, in Shana, in the year where there are many changes, we need to live the Exodus. We need to see ourselves as if we ourselves are leaving Mitzrayim, leaving Egypt today, every single day. And in a simple formula, the Rebbe says we can make this happen even when we make our blessings on food. And of course in many other areas. But when you make a blessing on food, you say, Baruch atah Hashem, Elokeinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Blessed is God, the King of the world, of the universe, who extracted this bread from the ground. But you know what? I worked for the bread, I paid for it, and all that doesn't matter. I know it's God who made it happen. And that's why every bracha actually brings you closer to God and the awareness that everything is from God and it's all